So today we're going to be changing the spark plugs on a 2018 WRX. And what you're going to need for this process, you're going to need two extensions, a long one and a short one. And you're going to need a 3/8 swivel, which is this one right here. You need a 14 millimeter. You're going to need the spark plug one, but I couldn't find one, so I'm just using this one. And you're going to need your spark plugs. And for this process, you're going to have to remove the battery on the driver's side in order to get to the spark plugs. Okay, so we're going to start by removing the battery terminals with a 10 millimeter bolt. Okay, now that the battery terminals are out, we're going to take these two 10 millimeter bolts off in order to take out the battery. Now that we remove the battery, we're going to see the two ignition coils right there. We're going to remove the two 10 millimeter bolts from right there, those two, and then we take the coils off. We're going to remove these using a swivel and a short 10 millimeter bolt. Touching this with one hand. Okay, so once you have them loosened out, just take them out slowly. There you go, and just do the same thing to the other side. So these, when you pop them out, you just grab them. And you pop them out, and just set them aside. Just don't mix either of the two. So now what you're gonna want to do when you take out the ignition coils, you're gonna want to get a 14 millimeter, attach the 3/8 swivel on it, use a short 3-inch extension, and then use the, I think this is 5-inch, the 5-inch in the end. So when you plug it inside the hole where the spark plug is, you can reach it. Watch. Just go in there, and now that it's in there, give me 1 second. Just loosen it up. Now it's loose. Okay, so this is the old one that I just took out. I don't know if it's focusing. Burned, and this is gonna be the new one we're gonna put in. The same thing, NGK iridium. So now we're just gonna put it in the 14 millimeter, and slowly we're gonna set it down so it goes inside. There we go. On these spark plugs, since they have a gasket on it, and they're 14 millimeter, it's recommended 16 to 29 foot-pounds, or 2 2/3 of a turn. So let's go ahead and do that. Now that we have the second one out, it's gonna be same process. Put the spark plug in the 14 millimeter socket, and we're gonna put it on the second one. Okay, so now that we're lured it in, now we're gonna tighten it with our hands first, and then we're gonna do a 2 2/3 turn in order to have it tight. Now we get these spark plugs in, we're gonna put the ignition coils back in. So let's bring this one back. Now let's send it when we do this one. Okay, now let's put the second one in here. Same thing, just push it in. Now to the bolts in, we're gonna put the two 10mm bolts in there. Okay, we're gonna put the two bolts, and then we're gonna tighten it in real quick. Now the back one. Be careful to not drop the bolt or the socket. Now we're going to use the ratchet to have it nice and tight. To the back one, please. Okay, so now that the first side is done, we're going to put everything back together. So we're going to put the battery and then the battery holder on top. Alright, so connect everything back together where they go, and then we should be ready to move to the other side over here. Now on this side, we're gonna move this whole air vent. We're gonna move the air filter box, air filter, and then the computer, set it aside in order for us to be able to get to the ignition coils and the spark plugs. Let's get to it. Okay, to remove this first piece right here, we're gonna take out these clips. We're gonna use this tool. We're gonna just loosen it this way, and it's gonna be able to pop out, and then you can pop out the clips. Make sure not to lose these clips. Pop this one out. Now you can just pull it out and then set it aside. Now for the air balls, you're gonna want to remove 1, 2, 3, 4. Those 4 bolts, and then you're going to be able to take them out. Alright, that one's loose. There you go, just loosen it up. There you go. On this one, you're also going to want to pull out the mass airflow sensor. There you go. Now that you've already taken all those stuff out, the 4. Now, in order for us to take the airbox out, we're going to have to loosen the clamp that you can barely see right there. See it right there, and then take out the hose in order for us to remove it. Okay, so I removed everything from here and it's loose. The problem we have here is we have to remove these 2 bolts first in order to move it to the side and be able to take this out completely. Okay, in order to remove this ECU, what you're gonna have to do when you remove these 2 bolts up here, you're just gonna pull it to the side like this, just like that, and then you pop it up and then it comes out. So you're gonna have to wanna keep it up here in order for you to be able to grab these 2 bolts right here. 1, 2, remove those, and you can remove the ignition coils, and then you can remove the spark plugs, just like in the other side. Okay, now that the ignition coils are out, we're going to repeat the same process on the other side with a 14mm, the swivel, and the 3-inch extension in order to go to the spark plug and remove it. Okay, so you're just gonna lower it in like this into the hole. Put it inside. That's why you need the swivel, because you're not gonna be able to just go straight like this. You can barely see it, but it's gonna give you an angle in order for you to loosen the bolt. I mean the spark plug. There you go. Now you use the ratchet and you get it loose. Break it loose. Okay, the third one's out. There you go. It's looking exactly like the other ones. Just now time to remove the last one. Now that they're both out, we're gonna leave this one in. Yes, we're in here slowly. And then just tighten it finger-wise, and then just use the ratchet. 2/3 of a turn. Okay. Alright, time to put the coils back in. So, finishing coils. There you go. There you go, nice and snug. Now I'm going to put the two 10mm bolts, one right here, one right there, and then tighten them up. And then we're done to put everything back together. These are the two 10mm bolts. Finger getting crazy, no cap. Okay, one. The other one goes somewhere right here. There you go. Now we're going to use the ratchet to go all the way to have it nice and snug. Now it's time to put the ECU back down. There you go, make sure it goes inside these holes right here. You can't really see it because there's no lighting. But we're going to put the ECU back. Now that the air box is back in, we're gonna put this piece back in. So we just plug this end piece right here to this hole right here. Just put it in like this. There you go. And just put these two clips right here. There you go. And just like that, we're done changing the spark plugs on a 2018 WRX. Now for the moment of truth. There you go, guys. It's not really hard to change spark plugs on WRX. There's just a lot of stuff you have to remove on the engine. You just gotta know what to remove, and you have it easy. There you go, guys. I hope you guys found this video easy to understand. Hit a thumbs up and maybe a subscribe.